welcome back to Mount Western Raceway in this special presentation. We have two guest presenters, that's right. We have TuneTrax Racing and Chaos Canyon. Wait till these guys get on the mic. In tonight's program, these two guys in front of me will be the last of the event. This is Scorpio Lovesmith driving for NZ Racing in the Austin Healey, and going up against him is Mark D from CRC Racing in the Way Too Fast. Both these cars and teams are placed in fourth place. We need a winner, but first of all, let's get into this.
Let the hot rods begin.
Our first race tonight is the Moto Superstar race. This is sponsored by Dwarf Garami Racing. Starting off in the inside lane is Street Show, and on the outside lane is Atto Mix. The first to win 3 is the Moto Superstar. The winner of the first race goes to Street Show in a time of 10:11. Race 2, the riders swap lanes. Atto Mix has the inside advantage. The winner of race 2 goes to Street Show in a time of 10:21. Race 3, Street Show has the inside advantage. Race 3 goes to the late charge of Atto Mix in a time of 10.06. Race 4, Atto Mix has the inside advantage. Atto Mix swinging home out of turn 2 takes race 4 in an 11.01. This is race 5, the decider. Atto Mix has the inside advantage. Winner of round 5 and also winner of the Moto Superstar race is Atto Mix. He comes in at a 10.05. Thank you everyone for watching this fantastic exhibition motorbike race.
Joining me in the booth tonight, we have a very special guest all the way from Thailand, and it's Chris from TuneTrax Racing. How are you, mate?
Doing pretty good. Thank you so much for having me here, and it's going to be a pleasure working with you on this epic racing series we have coming up.
Tonight we have the grudge match, mate, between Mike Dyson and Po Boy Racing. If you're a betting man, who are you going with tonight?
This is going to be a tough decision. Both are very good racers, and as you know, Mike Dyson just completely obliterated me on the racetrack, so I'm going to have to go with Mike.
Well, Mike D, I mean, he is the club champion of the Hot Rods in the 2020 club season, so therefore I really think that he might actually take this out tonight.
You do make some valid points, Hot Car Track, so this is going to be very interesting, and I think it's going to come down to which car can get off to a fast start.
Well, we have two fine competitors that have raced here many times at Mount Western Raceway, so what I reckon is, let's get stuck into it.
Race 1. Mike D in the 68 Chevy Nova, and a late charge there by Po Boy Racing.
And Mike Dyson draws first blood, getting an 8:18 on this run. Not as fastest, as his fastest was an 8:01, but still good enough to jump out to a 1-0 lead.
That's right, TuneTrax. He does hold the track record of all time for hot rods. It's going to be very hard for someone to beat an 8.01.
Let's go to the replay.
It's Dyson down the back who has the lead going into turn 1.
You can see Dyson takes a better angle towards the apex, which puts him in front by a good length.
Poboy Racing is trying to catch up and does a big 180.
That he does, and that 180 gives Mike Dyson the easy victory, going up 1-0 in this series. And here comes Poboy Racing. Oh, and he gives Mike a big old kiss in the rear fender.
Yeah, that's right, TuneTrax. That was a big hit there by Poboy Racing.
Race 2. It's Poboy Racing in that mighty street creeper.
Oh, Mike Dyson did not enjoy that loss as he comes up and gives Poboy a big old-fashioned sideswipe, letting him know he was not happy with that result.
And Poboy Racing coming in with an 8.25. Well done. Let's go to the replay.
You can see Mike Dyson pulling ahead slightly, but as he goes to the curb, he cuts the wheel too far to the right and loses control.
And look at Poboy Racing going into that turn 2. He has a beautiful line.
He definitely took advantage of Mike Dyson's mistake and rolls in to even up the series at 1 apiece. And Mike Dyson crosses the finish line as fast as a wet sock rolling up a hill.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. A very sluggish performance there from Mike Dyson. I would have thought better.
Race 3. Dyson again in the 68 Chevy Nova.
And there's the Mike Dyson we have all come to know, taking a series lead 2-1 with a 9-second flat mark.
And there's the Mike Dyson fan club. They've been around for so long and watched every single race he's done here on Mount Western Raceway.
Yeah, they're letting Poboy have it. I can hear it from here. But Poboy can use this as fuel and turn this race series right around. But let's head to the replay.
Picking up the action down the back, it's Mike Dyson. Look how low he goes. He hits that sidewall, almost spins out, and here comes Poboy Racing.
And you can see Mike Dyson make a great move around the curb, cutting back in front of Poboy, preventing him from jumping out in the lead. And this will give him a 2-1 lead heading into race 4.
I really thought Poboy Racing would have taken him out in this race.
Race 4. A big DNF. All drivers and teams back to the start gate.
I think Mike Dyson was trying to impersonate a ballerina coming in the curb too, but Poboy Racing said enough of that, checks Mike right into the guardrail.
We're very lucky to have Chopper Cam here today, and you can see both these guys are just short of that finish line.
Is that Carl Spackler's bent grass? It looks great. I have to ask, who does your landscaping?
Mate, actually, Big Kev, who's the twin brother of Big Nige, he does the gardens, and he's about to come into Season 2 of Hot Rods.
Hot car track, we've got a problem right here in the office. A lady's fainted. Can you get the medics down here, please?
Yes, I'm onto it, MC. This is not good. We do have a medical service right here on Mount Western Raceway.
She probably bet on Mike Dyson and does not like what she sees. Let's head to the replay. Coming out of the gate, you can definitely see Mike Dyson has the faster car. However, coming out of curve 1, he decides to put his ballet slippers on.
You can see here in turn 2, Poboy Racing goes low, and that's where the blocking happens.
And unfortunately for the both of them, they both suffer a DNF.
Thanks, Chris. I've just got word the lady who fainted is okay. The Mount Western Raceway medical team have her sorted out, and she's ready to go again, and she can't wait to see some more racing.
Race 5. Winner is Poboy Racing in the street creeper.
At 10:22, Poboy Racing lives up to his car name, creeping in for the win. Now the series is tied, and this is anybody's race.
That's right, TuneTrax. Mike Dyson, I think he's had a very tough racing season, and that one just really hurt him.
Let's head to the replay.
Mike Dyson's right out front here going into turn 1.
And Mike Dyson, doing his toe meter impression, decides to drive backwards, giving Po' Boy a comfortable lead.
Dyson trying to play catch up out of turn 2.
But it will not be enough as Po' Boy Racing evens up the series, 2 games apiece, and man was this race slow. I could not tell if this was slow motion or the real race itself.
That's right, Chris. I've seen some slow races and I reckon I can walk faster. Look how slow Mike Dyson's coming in.
Race 6.
Boy Racing takes out the Grudge Challenge against Mike Dyson, the current Hot Rods 2020 Club Championship winner. Well done, Boy Racing.
Well done indeed. What an epic series this was as Po' Boy upsets the champion Mike Dyson in this down to the wire grudge match. What a race. And here's a look at Mike Dyson in his Chevy Nova. He may not have won this match, but he is still champion of the Hot Rods. And nobody can take that away from him. Well, at least until season 2.
TuneTrax Racing, this has been a great pleasure to co-host with you. A sensational race we've seen tonight against 2 fantastic competitors who raced in the 2020 Hot Rods Club Championship right here in Australia.
This has been such an excellent experience, and what a fantastic series this was. Thank you so much for having me. This has been such a pleasure working with the legendary Hot Car Track, and I look forward to our next joint adventure.
Thank you very much, Chris from TuneTrax Racing. This has been a wonderful time we've shared together, and we've seen some glorious racing from these 2 guys. Now, if you're into Diecast Racing, head over to TuneTrax Racing on his YouTube channel and also his Facebook page, and you'll find some awesome Diecast Racing right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last event for round 51 of Hot Rods. This is the race for 4th place, and joining me in the booth all the way from New Zealand is Tom Spanners Watson, also known as Chaos Canyon. How are you, mate?
I am pumped to be here, thanks Simon, and I have been looking forward to coming over to Mount Western Raceway for ages, and this set of racing looks like it's going to be yet another killer race.
Yeah, that's right, mate. We have 2 very tough competitors here that have raced on the track many times. Of course, is NZ Racing, who has Scorpio Love Smith behind that wheel and that mighty Austin Healey. And of course, the Aussie Mark D from CRC Racing.
Absolutely, and we know that Mark D is a tough competitor. He was tough over at the Canyon, but it's going to be interesting to see how he goes in that 2-engined, way too fast beast. I know that the little Austin Healey is quite a tight little car, low centre of gravity, but the way too fast, very long and quite a high centre of gravity. It'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Spot on about the way too fast. Give him a straight line and they're unstoppable. However, Mount Western Raceway is a different beast and it's got 2 mighty corners, and if you approach them incorrectly, you're gone.
Definitely, and we've seen that a bit recently on your track with a few cars doing a few spinny spins there. So I've got to play favourites and back the Kiwi in this one. NZ Racing, got to take it out.
Well, mate, there's only one way to find out, and what I reckon is...
Let the Hot Rods begin. Race 1. It's Mark D of CRC Racing in the way too fast.
So Mark D takes out the first race in a time of 9.12. Bit of a shame for NZ Racing, they're getting left in his dust after that first corner. Let's go back and have a look at the replay.
Mark D has the advantage down the back. Scorpio Love Smith is struggling.
And then coming through this first turn, Scorpio heads off the side of the track. It's like he was pulling over to check his tyre pressure or something.
There's one thing about the way too fast with Mark D behind the wheel. They swing out of that turn 2.
And then he crosses the line, taking out the first race. That puts NZ Racing at a bit of a disadvantage, but he was lucky to even cross the finish line now.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. I thought NZ Racing with Scorpio behind the wheel was stuck up on turn 1. Maybe they've had some help to get back on the track again.
Race 2. in that mighty Austin Healey.
NZ Racing with a slow time of 11.09 but still takes the win. A bad stack from Mark D leaves him lying on the track. Let's go to Chopper Cam and see where he is.
That's right, Tom. We've broken all our budgets and we've got Slim up here on the chopper. He's doing a great job in tonight's racing. And there's Mark D from CRC Racing with the way too fast, stuck just before turn 2.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty accident as he came out of that turn 1. We've heard that he's okay though. He's radioed ahead and just said he needs NZ towing down there to help him out. Let's go back and have a look at that replay and find out exactly what happened. So you see Mark D comes out in the lead here, goes very high, comes down, slaps the inside of the track, and it looks like he almost goes into the parking area.
Oh man, we've seen a lot of stacks in that corner recently. Let's go again.
You see him come down, he bounces off the inside of the track, and there in the freeze frame, we see he's parked up, almost stuck in that inside area, but then slips off and rolls down on his side. He actually covers a lot of distance there too.
Yeah, that was quite a bad stack. That reminded me of the Mike Dyson one a few weeks ago. Now, this new style of cars driving in backwards, I'm not too sure what's going on, whether it's a personal decision or they just can't control the car.
Well, we saw that with Brian Vaughan in the recent Big Dog run over at the Canyon. He came in backwards every single race. I think it's definitely a style choice at the moment.
Couldn't agree more, Tom. And there's Big Nige from NZ Towing assessing the situation. He'll get the way too fast back on the tow truck. He'll take him down to the start line. We'll get them all back up to the start gate and we'll go for the next race.
Race 3. Winner is Mark D of CRC Racing in that way too fast.
So Mark D takes another one after a bit of a dirty move, almost an underarm bowl there going through that first corner. But still, NZ Racing makes it across the line.
Let's go check out that replay.
We see they're pretty even coming down the Healy. Looked like he was going to pull ahead, but Mark D pushes him into that sidewall there.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Looked like he got caught up on those rocks, but it's Mark D from CRC Racing swinging into turn 2.
Taking a really nice low line, comes out clean, slides through to the finish for an easy win. And NZ Racing luckily still makes it to the bottom of the track.
That's right, a very easy win there for Mark D from Australia in the way too fast. And here comes Scorpio Love Smith for NZ Racing in the Austin Healey, coming in backwards again.
Yeah, he's really going to have to tidy up his driving style if he hopes to take this out. He's 2-1 down at the moment, and we know that Mark D isn't just going to roll over for him. It's going to be a battle all the way to the end. Let's see how we go in race 4.
Race 4. Smith with a late charge in Austin Healey.
So Scorpio Love Smith snakes him right at the end. A slow race overall though.
That's right, Tom. That was a very slow finish there for NZ Racing with Scorpio behind the wheel. Let's go to the replay on that.
Scorpio jumps out to an early lead here, but Mark D slides through the inside, gets a little bit loose, just clipping the side of the track there a couple of times, and we know that's not always the best thing in these cars.
That's right, Tom. These long wheelbases in particular, they're way too fast. They struggle around the track if they hit the sidewall. They just can't recover. Look at that.
And Scorpio Love Smith, not one to let an opportunity go, manages to sneak in just ahead of Mark D, albeit very slowly. But this sets up an epic final race.
Yes, all teams have had a massive year of racing. It's all squared, going into the last. Who's going to take this out?
Race 5. Winner is Scorpio Love Smith driving for NZ Racing in that mighty Austin Healey.
Scorpio Love Smith for NZ Racing takes it out. Mark D with a bad stack coming down that last straight. Hands him the win. Slow time again, but we'll take it.
Yes, another great win there for NZ Racing with Scorpio Love Smith behind the wheel. Now, let's have a look at Mark D and see if he's all right. There's our chopper cam. We'll get Big Nige from NZ Towing up here in a minute.
Now, we've heard from Mark D. He's okay. We'll get NZ Towing in there any minute now. But let's go back and have a look at the replay and find out just what happened, because he was well ahead, lost it right at the end. Let's have a look at the replay from the start. So they come down pretty even, but Mark has the inside line coming into turn 1 as they head onto Mount Western Straight, and here he feeds at the jandle and just pulls ahead.
At this point, Scorpio Love Smith is gone, and here comes the way too fast, but what have I said about the long wheelbases? He's gone, Mark D's out.
Absolutely, and Scorpio sees the accident ahead, manages to pull wide and roll across the line. Again, rolling in backwards for some reason, but it's worked for him tonight as he takes out yet another win.
If I was a betting man, I would have put all my money on Mark D from Australia and that way too fast. Now, I've heard that's NZ Towing with Big Niger down there.
Good to see the tow truck so responsive at your track, mate. And I've got to say, the track is looking really good. You can see the effort that's been put in, and I understand that Big Kev from NZ Towing has actually been looking after your gardens for you. He's doing a great job, and now he's helping out with the tow trucks as well. What a great employee. Good guy to have around.
Yes, that's right, Tom. That's Big Kev. He's the twin of Big Nige, and Big Kev's been our gardener for the year. No one's known about Big Kev. However, in Season 2 of Hot Rods, he's taking over some of the towing duties, so a big warm welcome to Big Kev.
After an epic night's racing, we see Scorpio Love Smith there for NZ Racing, celebrating a massive win against a very tough competitor in Mark D. Some epic racing tonight and through the whole series, I gotta say.
That was an excellent race tonight and a fantastic season, our first in Hot Rods, right here on Mount Western Raceway. Tom Spanis-Watson from Chaos Canyon, a very big thank you. It's been so enjoyable co-hosting with you tonight right here in the place for 4th place on Hot Car Track on Mount Western Raceway, and I look forward to doing this again at some point in the near distant future.
Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. Thanks very much for getting us involved, and congratulations again to NZ Racing. Great to see a Kiwi take out 4th place, and good to know that Mark D wasn't too badly hurt and that just a bit of a bruised ego.
Thank you, Tom. Now, head over to Chaos Canyon, check out their YouTube channel and all their social media outlets. And they also have a DSPN Diecast Sports Programming Network weekly wrap-up. This is fantastic. This covers all the new and current diecast racing channels around the world. Check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of tonight's program and the end of Season 1 of the Hot Rods 2020 Club Championship. Right in front of us is the top 4. From left is Mike Dyson from the USA, Bowboy Racing from the USA. We have Chapman Films driving for 100 Proof Racing, and coming in 4th is NZ Racing with Scorpio Love Smith. Good night, everyone.